Good morning, welcome to my channel. I'm Susan. Glad to see you up and about this morning. Today we're going to fix a breakfast casserole. Now we do a lot of these because since Will is a pastor, they have a men's prayer breakfast once a week. And they take turns bringing a dish, so the casseroles are really quick and easy and something they can take and reheat. In this skillet I've got 2 pounds of Italian sausage. I like the hot Italian sausage. Gives a little more zing to it. But that's browning. Now I've got a couple of peppers here. I'm going to use, I don't know, we're going to see how much pepper we're going to get here. We're going to dice some peppers and onions and get those in. It doesn't have to be just perfect. This red pepper was really nice. Unfortunately, it's not one of ours. We'll get this one chopped up. Make sure the sausage doesn't burn. And then once it's cooked through, we're going to drain it. It's still got a little pink in there, so we're going to have to cook it a little longer. Can we cut for just a minute? Okay, we're getting our red pepper chopped up. I'm trying my best this week and next. Of course, this is a big weekend. This is Labor Day weekend. But I'm trying my best to get some videos ahead of schedule here because we are going to take a little trip and go up to visit some friends in Montana, northern Montana. We spent 14 years up there. Will was pastor at the Lutheran church there. I had a cafe and bakery, and we loved it up there. We had an orchard, an apple orchard. Oh my gosh, 314 trees or something like that. I'm going to turn this down just a little here, and I think we're going to pull this off and right now drain this sausage before it gets too dry here. But we had an apple orchard. I think it was 314 trees. We had a greenhouse, 2 greenhouses, raspberry plants, strawberry plants. We grew tomatoes in the greenhouse. My gosh, well, it was a jungle. Those tomatoes would grow up the wall and across the ceiling. Will was forever trying to tie them up. And of course I had the cafe and bakery. Made a lot of friends up in Montana. You know, you're in a community for 14 years, you get to know everybody pretty well. A lot of farming, of course, wheat farming and cattle ranching up there in northern Montana, if you've ever been. We weren't too far from Glacier National Park, which is considered the jewel of North America. If you've never been, if you get a chance, please go. It is just fantastic. Oops. I dropped a piece on the floor. I don't want Tilly to get it. But it's a beautiful park. Of course, the Yellowstone's there too. So you've got a park in the north and a park in the south, should you want to go. I'm going to drain this off real quick. get as much off there as I can. Okay. Now, I'm going to get...
You leave some of that in there, just kind of get the essence of the meat, right?
Yeah, you don't get it all out. I'm going to get these... But anyway, as I was saying, we're going to take a little trip, go back, see the friends, and maybe do some sightseeing. I think we might go up through Canada, the northern route there. That's always fun. Now this pepper's out of our garden. But I've not been to Manitoba, or what's the other one around
Saskatchewan.
there? Saskatchewan. I've never been there.
We've been through Alberta.
Yeah, I've been through Alberta. But I guess all of our friends will be done harvesting by the time we get up there. We're pretty darn close.
You know, you come to think of it, we didn't have any friends up there that didn't own a combine.
I think you're right.
And at times, when you had the cafe, people would ride their horses into town to get an ice cream.
Yeah, that's something to see. You know, your neighbors riding into town on a horse. You just don't see that too often, and it's fun. But I hope everybody got a chance to take a vacation this summer. If you did, let me know where you went and what you did. Exciting. Maybe you can let me know your vacation spots, and then I'll let you know ours when we get back. Although I might film on the road. I'm not sure yet how that's going to work out. You never know with the weather, because they're saying that Minnesota's due for a frost early September. That's coming out of Canada. So we're headed north into Canada. What's your best guess? Okay, I've got these chopped up here. I'm going to do the rest of that. And I'm going to throw them in the skillet and chop up an onion, which is always fun. Fun for me to chop up an onion. Okay, we're going to turn it down a little. Throw these in. You know, on top of everything we did in Montana with all the trees, oh, and we grew Honeycrisp apples that just were unbelievable. We also did farmers markets. What, 6 weeks of farmers markets, something like that. And they were fun. Oh my gosh, they're fun. It's fun to go to.
Hard work. How many pies did you sell a week at farmers market?
I would sell 25 pies a week.
But they were take and bake.
Well, some of them were, I bake like 6 or something. But most of them were take and bake because we took a freezer with us. And we could just sell them right out of the freezer. So 25 pies. Let's see, we did apple, peach, blueberry, strawberry rhubarb. What else did we do? I thought there was one else.
Is there elderberry in there? Or?
No, I said blueberry. But anyway, it's fun. But yeah, a lot of work. Of course, that was when we were younger. It's one of those in our younger days. But if you've never done a take and bake pie, let me tell you, they're as easy as it gets. You want to make your pie up as you would, but instead of sticking it in the oven, you want to put it in your freezer and kind of flash freeze it. And once it's frozen, you can take it out, set your oven, and bake it. It's real nice because when you're going to make a pie, why not make a couple? Doesn't take that much more effort. And you can just bake it off after it's frozen. And the thing of it is, too, if you freeze it before you bake it, the crust doesn't get soggy. And nobody likes a piece of pie with a soggy crust. At least not in our house. Okay, got that in there. Hope the smoke detector doesn't go off. Hope the smoke detector doesn't go off. We're kind of smoke in here. Maybe open a window. Open a window.
Open a window.
Open a window. You know, while Will's doing that, I'm going to do a little salt and pepper here. I haven't salted and peppered anything. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to throw, where are they? I've got some potatoes here. These came from Azure Standard. We put them in couple cup bags here. I'm going to throw some potatoes in. We're going to cook some potatoes. I don't know how many potatoes we're going to cook. I think that's probably plenty. Get some broccoli in there. This I just pulled out of the freezer. We're going to have to chop it up. You know, you can put anything in one of these breakfast casseroles. You can put polysteaks. I've had it with asparagus. You know, you can do red onion. You can do ham and Swiss. There's all sorts of things you can do. It's up to you. I'm just going to give you the basics. So, throw our broccoli in. Stir it around. It doesn't have to be cooked through because we are going to bake it. And I've got some mushrooms here. These are some cremini mushrooms that I had in the refrigerator, so I thought, well, I'd throw a couple of mushrooms in there. You know, a good way to get vegetables in your kids if you chop them up fine and put them in a casserole or something. Maybe they wouldn't notice. There's one. So let's see, we have, I'm afraid when we leave for vacation, all our tomatoes are going to be ripe. But our neighbors ought to have a heyday with that. You know, sometimes you just don't plan real well. that's okay. All right. Now I'm going to do some more seasoning here. That's good. Okay, we're going to put some mushrooms in there too. You know, you could even, if you wanted to, put carrots in. So, that's what that looks like. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this off and we're going to assemble our casserole dish. Let me just rinse my hands off on those mushrooms. Now I have preheated my oven to 350. And I've greased my 9x13. I need a big bowl though, because I got to crack some eggs. Gonna crack about 8 eggs, I think, for this one. Well, Tilly's back in. She must have smelled what's going on. Hi, Tilly. She's looking for something to eat. Beagles live on their noses, for their food. Now be careful not to get any shells in here. Of course, nobody'd know it because you got some crunchy vegetables in there. You just think it's a vegetable.
The shells might be good for you.
Calcium.
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably
not a good idea.
No. So, Will's been working on our motorhome. Had a little adventure with the water heater. You know, this video is longer than any I've ever done, and you're learning more about us than you probably want to know. We're almost done here. Okay, one more egg and we're done here. Now, that was messy. Okay. We've got over here. We're going to do some salt and pepper. I still have nasties on my hands. Let me get some in here. Now this casserole too, if you wanted to, you could do it the night before and just pop it in the oven. Now I'm going to add some granulated garlic and some, now I'm going to add granulated garlic. Just enough to give it a little flavor. Probably a teaspoon. We'll crack the eggs and we'll put this together. Now I have made enough for 2 of these because I'm going to take one to a friend. So those are, so I'm going to use half of this sausage mixture. And this one that we're going to use, we're going to eat. This would be something for your men's prayer breakfast. It's got everything but the kitchen sink in it. Okay, there's the sausage. Now you can cut this recipe in half. You know, I didn't, because like I said, I'm making it for somebody else. And there's Tilly getting a drink of water in case you're wondering what that noise is. Okay, I'm just going to mix this in here a little. You don't have to be too precise. Okay, now that that's done, we're just going to pour our egg mixture in. I'm going to give it a little stir. Make sure the eggs get all over it. Spread it out a little. Okay, now I've got some cheddar cheese. I know this is yellow and not orange because this is raw cheddar cheese from Azure Standard. So I'm going to put some cheese on top here. I'm going to save some for when it's done. I want to put some on the top so it'll melt. Melt a little more. So I'm going to put this in a 350 degree oven. It's going to be for about, probably 30 minutes. And then we'll see what happens. We'll be right back. Okay, we've had our 30 minutes in the oven and I sprinkled the rest of the cheese on the top. So we're going to have some brunch here. Those edges out there. Ooh, that's steamy hot. So there you have it. Breakfast casserole. Just for you. Make it your way. Until next time, blessings to you and your family, and I'll see you soon.